And so the intention for our open house, or Ignite Your Feminine open house for women leaders, is to create a space for women leaders who are steeped in wisdom to relax, to let down their hair, to step into a feminine space and practice what? Receiving, become rejuvenated, and something I think all of us could use a little more of, up our joy. And personally, I want you to feel like you receive support for your vision, mission, and passion. I mean, that's what all of our processes and programs are for. So, um,
Sounds perfect.
yeah.
You came to the right place. Yeah.
Yay. We're with you. And we definitely want to invite in other like-hearted women. So be thinking who might well with that. I think, Bossy, why don't we do a little quick introduction, then I can do my definition. Joanne looks like she had to leave because it didn't work, so I'm sure she'll be back. But I know, Jennifer, you may know Bossy, but Bossy, why don't you start with a quick introduction for the recording?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, everyone. I'm Vasi Hantalis, and I came here today by way of, different paths on my journey, corporate world, entrepreneurship, and also spiritual journey as well. And my definition of feminine power, I'll share just in a moment, but I guess what I want to tell you is that what I'm passionate about is really supporting women who are ready to go to that next level of purpose, whatever that looks like for them, that in their heart they have this desire to make a greater impact. And I help them get the clarity and the focus to do that and to be in flow. I'm all about flow. So I'm a professional intuitive coach. I do that through my coaching. I also have energy healing abilities, and I work to clear subconscious blocks that get in the way of our path. And I also would add, let's see what else feels important to add. I'm also an intuitive artist, and behind me is a feminine power. That's I paint, and I ask afterward what it's the energy of, and that's the feminine power picture. And intuition and creativity is how I access my feminine power. And this morning I wrote something I'm going to share with you as my definition, because it's always changing, a feminine energy. So feminine energy is like liquid light. It is a knowing that is strong and true. It is the way of our heart. It is the courage to stand in our power and speak truth. It is embracing, allowing, and expansive. It is the energy that seeks to express, to create, to conjure, to offer up compassion when it is most needed. It's like a chalice of pure water overflowing with love.
Mm.
That's my current definition.
I love the chalice overflowing. Yes. Beautiful. Well, thank you. So, for those of you who don't know me and Jennifer, Laura Rubenstein, and I've been on the path of consciously, I want to say studying, but that's not the right word, feminine energy since 1998. Not many people were talking about it then. I didn't think I was feminine back then at all. In fact, I thought feminine meant Laura Ashley Prince, liking frilly things in Laura Ashley Prince. And at the time, I didn't relate to any of that. So I was definitely not feminine until I met my mentor. And I learned that a lot of things that I was criticizing myself for was actually my feminine essence and my power, and very powerful. So I went on a journey, and it started with a breakup. I was engaged to be married in 1997. And one day my fiance came home and he said, "I love you, but I'm not in love with you. We can't get married." And he did the biggest gift. He gave me the biggest gift. And welcome, Joanne. We're glad you're here. And the biggest gift to send me on the journey where I had to look at myself, learn to love myself so I could embrace myself and then bring in my divine life partner and find that I was on a mission to find a juicy, harmonious, loving, soul connected relationship. And I did. And over time, I got these pearls of wisdom. I found a mentor and then realized what feminine energy is. And it is really the most powerful form of energy out there. And as we step into it as women, as a culture, we are going to change the world. So for me, feminine energy is like, I would say, like fire. It can warm you up and it can create an intimate atmosphere. It creates light. It produces heat. It's powerful. It can transform states, whereas fire turns solid into liquid and raw into cooked, liquid into or solid into liquid, so that it is really a state changing energy. And like fire, the divine feminine is sometimes associated with magic because it's nonlinear. It turns dark into light. Just when you bring fire into a room, right? Dark spaces into light. It can be dangerous, it can be mesmerizing, and it can be alluring. It can burn, it can destroy, it can also be sacred and revered. And when mishandled, misunderstood, it can rage out of control. When focused and honored and given conscious attention and channeled appropriately, it can be a divine healing connecting force. And this is the power of the feminine. So as we go into our next section, Vasi's going to lead us through a centering exercise. Consider your definition or your feminine energy, because we'll use that as we go forth.
Thank you, Laura. So I invite each one of you listening live or on the replay, if you'd like to close your eyes and just be in your breath. So take a deep breath in now. And as you exhale, maybe you release your shoulders a little bit, allow them to drop. And on the next breath, breathe up. Imagine the breath coming up from the earth through your feet. Allowing that breath to expand your chest. On the out breath, letting go of anything that's weighing heavy on your body, any pain or constriction. Next breath in. Breathing in just your favorite color. And on the out breath, just letting go of any busyness in your thoughts, any distractions, anything you're carrying over from your day to day. I'd like you to just feel into your body. Where might your feminine energy, your feminine power be sitting in your body? Just notice where your attention goes without thinking about it. Is it your heart? Is it your hips? Is it your throat? Where is it? Where is that feminine energy sitting? And just feel, see, or sense wherever that place is in your body right now. And just imagining with each breath, there's this radiance in that area of your body. It's where your feminine energy is beaming light. It's like that fire that Laura spoke about. It's like the liquid light I mentioned in mine. Whatever that is for you, just imagine with each breath, your feminine energy is radiating out through your body. And it's juicy and it's delicious and it's energizing. And perhaps it's calming as well. Just notice how that feels in the whole of your body. You can see or feel or sense that as a golden light within your body. Is continuing to expand, a beautiful globe of light. And just knowing that within this golden light, you are perfectly safe and loved and held in a sacred space. Within that container of feminine energy. And within our time together, knowing that you are held in love, And we honor your wisdom. We honor what you share with us today, and we welcome you all in with your feminine energy. And with that, take one more breath and just allow yourself to settle in even more into your chair, wherever you're sitting, and to be in your fullness and your wholeness. And then whenever you're ready, feel free to open your eyes, maybe rub your ears, or your hands together.
Mm.
Yes, here we are, connected.
Just what I needed. I don't know about you ladies, but that was awesome, Bossy. Thank you.
Welcome, my pleasure.
So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to explore feminine power a little bit. We'll do some connecting and sharing. And we'll also talk about receiving, because that's a really important feminine power energy. Our energy, when we talks about our feminine, can really make a difference for like what you were saying, Bossy, getting into flow. And we'll also share about what we've cooked up, our Ignite Your Feminine Play Shop. It's a virtual course, and our Spa-licious retreat in San Diego. So it's really fun. Um, so I thought we'd go around and get to know those of you who are here. Say your name and what comes to mind when you think about feminine power. Do you have a definition, or what does feminine feel like or look like to you? So, Gossie and I shared, and Jennifer, would you like to share next, and then Joanne?
Jennifer Walsh, feminine power. It's something I'm still grappling with. I think for a number of reasons. One, um, the old idea of what feminine was, I did not look like. In fact, so much so that my mom stuck me in ballet. And then I actually became the best in the class and was on toe within 2 years, which is unheard of, but it did not make me look like what feminine was in her eyes. So I mastered ballet, but still it didn't give the outcome she was looking for. Um, and I'm in high tech and work with a ton of men, and so it's a struggle. So I want to embrace it more because I think um, I'm not embracing it enough, and so it's exhausting within, you know, my current construct of heading a procurement department and working with, the C-suite executives and what their expectations are, and everything that's been emulated or taught has been much more from a like masculine energy standpoint, which while I do it, it drains me. So one of the reasons I'm here is to try to figure out how to embrace that feminine energy and power to help me be more of that within this more male construct, and it be accepted and allow me to be more me and not exhausted. So I don't have a definition, obviously, but
And
I have
it's
an idea.
okay. You don't have to have an exact definition or anything. And I think you know where you want to go, and it sounds like more balance between the masculine and the feminine.
Yes.
And honestly, Vasi and I talk about this all the time. It's like this is a place and a space for you to practice the feminine, because we do need to balance it. And when we're practicing it here, then it will naturally come out in other places, like in our work and our home life, and even when we're just with ourselves, to remember what's important to take care of ourselves, really, and our heart. And Joanne, are you in a place to share your name and what your thoughts are about feminine power, feminine energy? Oh, did she say something? She said something about her laptop. No. So if you could come on, let me see if I can ask you to, I can unmute you. Maybe. Here, how about that?
Okay, so Joanne, Laura just unmuted you. So you're, oh, nope, now it's muted again.
I tried to. Maybe we're kind of doing it to each other. So try one more time. I'm going to keep my hands off the wheel. And maybe you can, and if you want me to unmute you, let me know in the chat. In the meantime, Bossy D, do you want to say anything?
I just wanted to say something, Jennifer, about what you said is I really appreciate what you said. And to me, being open to that inquiry of what is feminine and what is it for me, because it's not like a cookie cutter definition. It's different to all of us because we're in different environments. So I really love how you're in that place of being open and curious about it. So I just wanted to share that. Thanks.
And Joanne, if you want to, you can, I tried, I really did. I'm trying and it's not for some reason. So maybe you can type in the chat for us what's your definition of feminine power? What comes to mind when you think about feminine power? Where would you like to go with feminine power? I think it's so I give this analogy. I don't know if I said this to you before, Bossy, but in 1997 when I started exploring this, I was like an infant, a newborn, in learning about feminine energy and like, oh, what's this? I'm not this. I don't know what this is, but I was playful with it, and some about now I'm in early childhood. It's not something that you can grasp. It's not a linear thing, right? It's like elusive, but it's potent. And when you have a few of the forms of feminine power energy, which we talk about in the play shop, when you have a few techniques under your belt, some principles, I would say, practices, then you can start exploring what it is for you. So, oh, good. Joanne, let's see. You said, so regarding feminine power, to be in full expression of myself is about that. Yeah, great. Yeah, feel free to reboot. We're going to talk about now something that's really fun um, about, well, first of all, let me tell you that I have created a deck of feminine wisdom cards. They're called the feminine power cards. You can see them in the picture behind me, and there's a deck right here. And I pulled it, Bossy and I actually pulled a card together earlier when we were planning our time today. And it's all about receiving. We thought that we'd make the 2 open houses we're going to do today and on April 1st, about receiving, because we pulled this card. Receiving is an active process that requires openness and gratitude. So a lot of people think that receiving is passive, but to do receiving well, you have to be in a state of allowing and gratitude. So the feminine power cards have a principle on the pink side and a practice on the blue side. So the blue side has a heart on it, and the heart means it's something to contemplate. And there's 2 questions on here. What am I open to receiving right now? And how can I receive well? I'd write those 2 questions down. What am I open to receiving right now? And how can I receive well? I have them on a slide too, because the answer you come up with right now might change over time, right? What am I open to receiving right now? What you're open to receiving now is different every moment, right? I am open to receiving wisdom. I'm open to receiving flow. I'm open to receiving, and let yourself play with that, right? And we're going to, actually have you share a little bit about what you're open to receiving. So, Bossy, do you want to?
Yeah, and Jennifer, you need to leave in about 3 minutes. Is that right? Yeah. So actually, why don't you go first if you're ready to share with us?
Um, I guess I'm open to new ideas and ways of being and ways of supporting, performing, and providing to people who have different ways of being and looking and thinking.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Love that.
Why I love that answer, and mind you, no answer would be wrong, but is because you use the term ways of being, and the feminine is all about being, you know, being open, being receptive, being. Yeah. And it's okay if you don't have words, by the way. When you're trying to grasp a concept, because sometimes words are too linear, and sometimes you need to just be it, and then maybe later you'll have words for it.
And I think that's where images can be so powerful. Like even a texture like velvet, that can convey so much, right? So it's like a texture or a taste or an image may come, and we don't often give ourselves permission to share that. Yet I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So I just want to encourage all of us too. Like if a picture comes, don't say, "Oh, I don't know what that is," or with the words, share that with us because that can be another expression of the feminine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Jennifer, how will you receive it well? That second question.
How can I receive? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you receive well?
Well, I think you can't receive anything you're not, or um, it is an active thing. So you have to consciously actually kind of sit back and be open, aware, and um, allow the person to present the gift in the first place
Mm,
and understand where they're coming from, why they're even providing the gift, um what's it providing them, why do they want to provide this gift, what is inspiring them, and help. You need to sit back and actively listen, whether it's visually, emotionally, with words. They're providing a gift for a reason, and what's inspiring them to do that, why are they wanting to do this for you, how, and how they're doing it for you. And then once they're done providing that, presenting that, supplying that, then acknowledging it in whatever way feels right for you and that person, and acknowledging their inspiration, their caring, their whatever it is they're providing, and what it means to you, and how much it means to you, and being thankful and grateful for them willing and wanting to do that for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you.
Receiving is so powerful. So powerful. And it's a very feminine thing. I mean, think about it. We receive men, right? That's one of the most feminine things we do, into our bodies. They can't do that. We can do
That's
that.
true.
Right?
Right.
So there's so much involved in receiving. And I almost feel like receiving is similar in energy to giving. Because when you receive well, it really does give back that energy. If you give a gift to somebody and they don't receive it, it's a missing over here, right? Like if I give you something and you're like, okay, thanks, or no thanks, then but when you say thank you and you actively engage with my giving, you're giving me back something. It's pretty amazing.
Mm.
It's so powerful. It's magical to
Well,
have exchange. Yeah, go ahead.
it's a full circle,
Full
if you can.
circle.
Mhm.
exactly.
give and receive properly.
Yeah.
It actually provides and gives to everybody involved.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I want to honor your time. Is there
Yeah.
anything you want to share as you leave? Any insights that just from this little bit that you got?
Well, I'm sad I have to leave because just this half hour has provided me a lot. It's been I think I've been very stuck in masculine and work that, and it's been hard, what's going on at work. So, this has allowed me to breathe and be and stop and enjoy you lovely ladies. This is so much better space to be in than I'm typically in when I'm working. So that's, I guess, the insight is the more I can bring this into my day to day work, so much better off I'm going to be. And in the end, they'll probably like me more too.
Mhm.
Well, we're looking forward to having you in our weekly classes because you'll get to spend time, and I can already see your light has shifted, your demeanor. You have such a your feminine came right out when we just created this space. Does she look completely different to me?
Totally. You were so ready to be in this space. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I also feel like a little girl energy with you too is
Yeah,
coming up,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was actually in a bad space prior to the point where I was like, oh God, do I even call in? And I thought, no, this is exactly why I need to call in.
Yes.
So
Perfect,
yeah,
perfect.
there was no doubt. I was kind of like,
Exactly. Thank you so much for listening to that and
Yeah,
coming today, Jennifer. We're so glad you did.
yeah.
well, I look forward to more interactions, and I already thought of maybe somebody to invite to this. So,
Oh, good. We'll send you the link to do so.
okay, wonderful. And
Yeah.
I feel sad to go because I feel like there's so much more I could learn and gain.
Yeah. Yes. We'll come back on the first. We'll be here if you can.
But yeah, likely. We'll see.
It's
Yeah.
it's igniteyourfeminine.com and for anyone. And I've got some insights from Joanne here. She says she's open to receiving self-compassion. Yes.
Hi, Jennifer.
And she's receiving and Joanne, you're receiving it by being aware of my own emotions and honoring them and emoting and self-soothing. Oh, yes. Yes. And asking others for what I need and want. There is a power in that, right? I wholeheartedly believe in asking for what one needs and wants. And the one of the most powerful ways to do that is without expectation. And you leave it, yeah. I know. I'm so you're messaging me here, Joanne. She's disappointed that her phone and computer are not working well at this time to be online. Interesting you say your phone aren't. I'm wondering about there is an option to call in. There should be an option to call in. Let me see.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find it, but anyway. Okay, switch to phone audio. There's one that says switch. If you go next to the microphone settings, there's something that says switch to phone audio. So if your cell phone is working as a cell phone, as a phone, you might be able to do that. But yes, um, we we have your energy here, and I love it. And I love this point you're making about receiving self-compassion. Do you want to say anything about that, Vasi?
Yeah, there's another word you used, self-soothing. And
Hmm.
I think that's so important because more than ever, our nervous systems are like on overdrive. And with all the changes going on in the world, and what you said, Joanne, about asking for what you need and self-soothing, it's about loving yourself, right? It really comes back to caring for ourselves. And those of us that are so good for caring for others, and since I know you, I know that you're one of those who just are amazing at caring for others. then to learn to care for ourselves and offer that same compassion and love to ourselves is so important. So I love that that's what you shared with us about receiving and what you've been practicing receiving.
Yeah. And so, oh, she's gone. But I do want to say something about self-soothing. And it's really about taking responsibility for feeling well, feeling more joy, allowing us to have our emotions on our emotions. Here she comes back. Maybe it'll work for her. I just think it's such an important concept, self-soothing, the self-love. And you know, that was funny. When we were planning for this session, we were talking about, you were like, I really think I'm here to support people loving themselves. And I even think for those of us who think we've got that down, none of us have enough love, you know, like I'm never going to turn away somebody who wants to show me love, right? Including myself. I think it's unlimited. And if we can encourage each other and we create a world that's more self-loving, we'll have a better world.
Mm. Absolutely. I completely 110% agree with that. Yeah.
So this receiving of and self-love, it's really potent. And I'm so impressed that just in having this conversation, like Jennifer transformed.
Mm.
I feel, you know, just with your centering, it's like, oh yeah, I can let go. I can get into my flow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so powerful for women to be in community. And we know that. It's not like we don't know it because we've experienced all our lives, but there's something about when we're in that space again, it all comes back, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it's so important to make time to be in this space. Because it's so natural. We learn from each other. We reflect different aspects of us, you know, like we're all these multifaceted gems. And so, you know, I can see in you something in me that maybe could shine brighter or inspire me and vice versa. So um, there's a synergy, right? And
Love
being
that word.
together. So Laura, do you want to say something about that?
Yes, I love that you use the word synergy because my whole vision for what we are doing is taking women who, just like we heard from for Jennifer, she's in her silo, she's in this masculine environment, she's trying to figure out how to balance her energy and not get exhausted. And what happens when she comes into synergy with other women is she lightens up, she feels so much better, that she's able to transform energy from where she was to something more happy and joyous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Hello,
I
ladies.
call it going from our silos to synergy. And that is the whole point of women coming together. So is that Joanne?
Yeah, this is such a discombobulated moment.
Okay, well, guess
But
what? We can
it
hear
is.
you. We're so excited.
Yeah, so I think Laura, you said, I think you can get on audio, and when I pressed the button to do that, it completely pushed me out of the whole Zoom call.
But now you came
So
back.
yeah, so I missed, you don't have to repeat everything, but I missed everything you said since that time.
Yeah. I figured because I saw you let go. Bossy and I had a very nice talk about self-love and the importance of it and self-compassion and that's what we're here to do. So, Bossy, do you want to share anything?
Just Joanne, it's so great to hear your voice. I'm so glad we get to hear it. And you know what
you.
you said about receiving and what you shared with Laura in the chat, that took us to a whole nother level. And so you can always go back and hear the replay, but basically just to recap, we were talking about that self-love and responsibility for ourselves, taking responsibility, and also as women being in community and how there's a synergy that happens, how we get energized from that. And so that's what Laura and I are all about. So we were just kind of enjoying that space that you helped us co-create as well.
Oh, I'm happy. that gives me, you've made my day, honestly, by
And
sharing that.
you made
I
ours. I mean,
completely agree.
yeah. And
Mhm.
Bossy was saying something about creating synergy.
Yeah.
That's what we do as women here, and that's our whole backbone, I should say, of our gatherings, because
Hmm.
I came to the realization that, many of us women are in our silos, we're at our jobs, we're in our families, but we are feeling like, where's the support that I need for my soul? And when we come together, we go from our silo to synergy. And what's really cool about that is, I use this analogy. So if women come in their little silos, they're in their little orbits, and maybe you have some passion projects or personal goals for yourselves. And when you come together, when each of us come together with our intention to have more compassion, or to receive well, or to balance more with the feminine in our lives, and we share of this, you now get energy on that. We each get energy from each other to make it easier. It kind
Hmm.
of creates a gravitational pull and a momentum for each other, that you don't have to do as much. You just have to sink in with us. That's all. And you do that by showing up, right? And by
Yeah.
saying, this is the place for me. This is where I'm going to, what I like to say, evolve your feminine. Um, and so
Hmm.
maybe it's a good time to talk about how we do that, Rossi.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's
And
do that.
before I do that, Joanne, are there any questions percolating in your mind that you want to ask, or comments you want to make?
Not specific questions. I think I would just have to, well, appreciate to share with you that the events of my day have been more about receiving various bits of information and evolving myself in relationship to how I absorb that, or how I perceive it, or how it impacts me. And what I am also noticing is the importance of stepping back when other people also present information to me, or sentiments, or whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is, news, information, whatever. So they can be in their moment. They can have their moment. Because I think that when we're sharing, we also are receiving something just by sharing and telling our story, or telling how we feel, or telling, what's going on in our world. And what I'm experiencing, I would have to say, over these last months, and Vasi knows I've been a bit of a caretaker. It's the importance of supporting myself as I support other people. So I'm setting not only clear boundaries for myself, but also evolving as I practice my exercising of those boundaries, because they change all the time. And I notice that I can sometimes give more by taking a step back.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Really powerful.
Yes, that's incredible, Joanne. That's gold right there, what you shared with us. Yeah. Each of us can use that.
Yeah.
I wrote down something today that I know has some significance. Maybe it'll be a title of a book, or a poem, or a journal entry, or something. And the thought that came to me was how to raise yourself.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it can mean many things. It can be raise yourself from adult, or sorry, from child to adolescent to adult. It could also mean to raise up,
Mm-hmm.
just in relationship to the height of our oneness, our being, our self-expression, our divine feminine, our, mastery in whatever our life skills are, or whatever it is that we're, wanting to bring into our experience.
Hmm. I love it. It does sound like a poem, a book, a chapter, a story, something.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, thank you.
I'll circle back with you both on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
please
do.
do. It also feels like there's a creative project to come from that inquiry as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Painting.
Borrow it. Use it as you like.
No, I feel like there's like a whole other level of exploration for you around that through color and images. Yeah.
And I love, Bossy, that you brought in the whole thing of picture, or an image says 1,000 words. We, in our one of our programs that we're going to share with you, our retreat, we do work with imagery and collage, and it does help us to see new things and new aspects of ourselves and insights and wisdom that's actually right in front of us. But when we put it together in that intuitive collage process, then we see, oh, that's the revelation I was looking for. That's the answer. Because our intuitive was able to put it together, and we didn't use words, we used imagery. So let's talk about how we are providing an intentional space to play in feminine power and practice
Okay.
this synergizing and this feminine in our lives. Stepping into our feminine energy and being in synergy with other women really consciously offers that path to bring more grace and ease and joy and raise us up, in a way, both in joy and in new new growth, really. So what if you could explore in community how to show up in the feminine, in your feminine power, in your personal and professional life? I know that Jennifer really was really craving that, and so she's in the right place. And be supported with tools and insights in a sacred space, and learn and practice applying and integrating feminine power into your life. So that's what, Vasi and I really want you to be able to have a community for. And we've put together a couple of things that are coming up for you to take advantage of. And that is our Ignite Your Feminine Soul Play Shop. It's a virtual course. It's 8 weeks. It's designed as an experiential program where you'll be immersed in processes and you'll be given some new information, and that will support you generating your own wisdom. And the program will allow you to step into mastering communicating from your essence, from that feminine space, or at least practice it, be in that space more, attract and cultivate more connected, juicier relationships in all areas of your life, really making that more easy to do. Our intention in this program will be to let you show you how to generate more results with less energy and feel in alignment. So it's a lot of clearing goes on with that, and also new ways of being. Like Jennifer was talking about, she was like, I want to learn new ways of being. Yeah. And Vasi's going to be doing some of that clearing work. And then you ultimately get to join a community of like-hearted women leaders and forge meaningful connections with new women. So what you receive from this can be life-changing. You'll really learn how to allow and receive at a very high level, high vibration. So I thought I'd go over the 8 weeks. I have it on a slide, but I don't think you can see it. But maybe I'll put it on the screen just so we have it on the recording as well. And Vasi, is there anything you want to say about the 8-week course?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I've been in different feminine energy experiences probably for 20 years, but I absolutely loved Laura's course. I went through it myself with some of the other women from the retreat. And what I found was so powerful is that it was a small group and we really got to share our experiences with the exercises and with the topics. And the way that you facilitate, Laura, is like in complete alignment with the feminine energy. It's a complete embodiment, which is so juicy to be in that space. And so I just found it to be very unique and very powerful in the topics and the flow. So I'm excited for you to share that.
Yeah, and what's really special that you're kind of maybe alluding to here is wisdom comes through all the women in the course. I have a framework and some information, but as each woman synthesizes it and brings their insights, we all benefit from it. And I love that dynamic. I really do.
Well said. That's what I was trying to say. Yes.
Oh, good.
Exactly.
So where we start off is week one. We honor and define your essential nature. We actually will do a process that will address fear, because fear gets in the way of our essential nature. And I have a process that we'll go through that helps you identify when fear is in control, and then a technique to access your essential nature instead of fear. So like never before. And it's really profound. And then in week two, we talk about how women are the rulers and the healers of the world. We unveil this paradigm, and we practice opening our heart and consciously evaluating where we are and where we're going, and stepping into that ruler healer role. So that's really interesting conversation in week two. Week three is also about taking a look at how can we flip into our feminine power when we're in our various relationships, whether it's at work or our intimate relationships or our family relationships. And we'll take a deep look at the 5 core feminine power principles that are part of the deck of wisdom cards, the feminine power cards. And we'll also talk about evolution and the stages of evolution as a culture and as people. And so we look at it at the macro level, and we take it down to the micro level. And then we also talk about the masculine feminine continuum and magnetism and polarity, how we attract, how we repel. It's quite interesting. In week 4, we're going to explore darkness and amplify your joy at the same time. Isn't that cool? So we'll consider different levels of needs, happiness and joy and ecstasy, and how you generate that in your life. And I also have a little section on reframing mistake making, because it is important in our lives, even though we don't like that word. In the 5th week, and all the while we're connecting, we're going to be sharing, we're going to have opportunities to connect with each other and support each other. In week 5, we're going to talk about how to be taken seriously while expressing yourself. And that is also part of the receiving. We're going to revisit receiving again. Week 6, I have 7 forms of feminine power to introduce you to. And we'll have a candid discussion of power over versus authentic power. And we'll open up about where we feel powerful, where we feel less powerful, and how to nurture our authentic power. And then we will also create sacred space and succulence. And you have to bring a raisin to this session, week 7. Oh, wait, week 6. Sorry, week 6. Week 7 is a really special week. We invite in a panel of men to answer our questions and share their perspectives about how powerful women, how they view women in their power. And it's quite eye-opening. And then week 8, Vasi, you're going to be doing?
Yeah, so week 8 is taking all that came before and integrating it on all levels of our being. Because a lot of times when we go through courses, maybe we get it in our mind or our heart, but this is on all levels, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, physically. And then we also get a chance to hear from each one of you, how are you applying what you've been learning? How would you like to go forward and apply the tips, the tools, the ideas that you've learned? So we'll inspire each other and how we're going forward. And then we'll also celebrate, because this is a incredible journey to be on. And we want to witness and celebrate each other at the end of this journey, which is actually just a beginning.
It is,
right?
because that starts in April, and then in early June we come together. So this course is a connection time. It's a tremendous opportunity to discover advanced approaches to balancing masculine and feminine energies and to nourish your heart and soul and community with other women. And then we invite you to step into the retreat with us in person. And hang on a second there, and nourish your soul with this retreat called the Spalicious Retreat. And Vasi and I have been doing retreats for over 20 years, on our own, and we've recently come together in the last year to bring these Spalicious retreats to you. And they've been in the making for like 4 or 5 years, actually, because we spoke about them back in before the pandemic. On one of our walk and talks. So do you want to share a little bit about the retreat, Vasi?
Yeah. So there have been a couple of Spalicious retreats already, and you'll see these are from some of the retreats. One was in Texas and one was in San Diego. So there were 2 in 2023. And it's a wonderful weekend. We'll go over the dates in a bit in June, but it's a way to really slow down. And we're all so busy. So we create a space where there's sound healing, where there's movement, where there's meditation, and you can just really slow down. And, that's very self-soothing. And it's also a wonderful opportunity to deepen connections and elevate your joy, because when women are together, there's this juiciness, this joy in being together. So there's also that being together live in person. That's also really special. We're also going to be doing some heart storming together, which is a way to strengthen your vision and goals. And also there's this beautiful soul collage process that Laura facilitates. And that's also a way to strengthen your vision and goals within that intuitive process that Laura had mentioned earlier. And it's also an opportunity to clear any blocks. And when we clear blocks, we open the way to more flow and ease. And we have some really unique and wonderful ways for you to be able to clear blocks. And I should also mention fun. It doesn't have to be serious. It's also can be really easy and fun to do it. And you'll also get a chance to tap into your creative essence through soul collage and some of the other things that we're doing. And so, yeah, just sharing some of those pictures around there, yoga and movement and soul collage. So what you'll get a chance to experience is we're going to have some yummy meals. We have someone who's going to be cooking for us and giving us a cooking class. You will definitely be pampered and very healthy food. We actually do a survey ahead of time to make sure everyone's needs are covered and preferences. And then we customize the food to take that into account of everyone's preferences. We'll also have sound healing, which was so amazing last time. It was for 30 minutes and people thought it was for 5 minutes. And so I teased them saying, well, you did it right if you felt that, because that's when you just totally relax. So we have a sound healing to give you an experience of just deep relaxation and connectedness with yourself. And then the heart storming session I mentioned as a way to strengthen your vision and goals and to be supported. The soul collage is that intuitive process that Laura mentioned. And we have movement because it's not all sitting. We're going to be moving in our bodies, guided meditation and relaxation. And then remember that feminine power card that Laura shared with us about receiving? You'll get your own deck. So that's one of the gifts for us. And then you also get sessions, mini sessions afterwards with Laura and I as part of the retreat experience. So after the retreat, you'll get a link to book in. I'll be doing self-love clearings and boosting your self-love, and also any intuitive guidance around any specific area that you would like, perhaps around your vision that you shared with us in the retreat. And then Laura, do you want to say anything about the session with you?
Yeah, the session with me, I'm calling it a feminine integration session. And whether it's something you want to integrate, you want to experience more of the flow and the joy that you experienced during the weekend in your work life, your home life, just with your, personal evolution. We're going to have some profound conversation about what is that, what does that look like, feel like, sound like for you, and what might be in the way of that, so we can have you step into the feminine more consciously, more consistently. And we'll also have an invitation to you for an ongoing community after the retreat, if you love us, which we hope you do. So do you want to go over some logistics?
Yeah. So we're going to have a Zoom meet and greet. So a virtual kickoff to the retreat, which will be June 5th from 5:30 to 7. So a chance to get to know each other. And in some ways, it's really nice to do that virtually because we're not as distracted being in person, because we want everyone to just connect. And then Friday show up and you have already like a certain comfort and a knowing of the people that are there at the retreat. So that's Friday, June 7th, 4 to 8 p.m. And then Saturday we'll be together from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, June 8th. This is at a private home in San Diego, and you will get the address when you register. And we encourage you to invite your friends. If you're someone like, oh, I'd love to share this experience, or I know someone who would really benefit from this, as long as we have space, we cap off at, is it 12, Laura? Is that our maximum?
Yep.
Yeah. So as long as we have space, we'd love to have your friends. And it's always fun to share an experience like this with friends as well. So,
and the logistics about the course is that it starts on April 17th. They're going to run from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and on Wednesdays. So April 17th,
5 to 6?
5 to 6:30. Yeah.
Oh, 6:30. Okay.
Yeah. If you can only stay for an hour, we understand too. So, you always get the recording as well.
What day? April what?
April 17th is the first day.
Okay.
And
so
then, yeah,
I'm just going to say, so it's 8 Wednesdays beginning April 17th at 5 p.m.
Yeah. And then it goes through May, and then we have the 8th one is actually the week after the retreat, which will be our integration and celebration. So it's really, we kind of wrap you, we take care of you. So that is it. So let's talk about the investment for this.
Oh, wait a minute. So there are eight sessions, consecutive Wednesdays through May, and then June is the June 6, 7, 8 is the retreat, and then the 8th session is after that, so it would be like mid-June.
Actually, so let me give you the dates, because we skipped June 5th because that's actually the retreat Wednesday for the course. So we actually, if you're taking both the course and the retreat, you will have 9 Wednesday virtual sessions, because Wednesday the 5th of June is the virtual session for the meet and greet for the retreat. So yeah, it's April 17th, April 24th. And then in May, it's the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. And then leapfrog a couple of weeks to June 12th. And that's the course.
And we have this all on a webpage. We'll send a link after the call.
Yeah.
So you'll have all the dates in front of you as well.
And
So the last day would be when? June 12th?
June 12th, yes.
Okay.
And if you can't make one of them, we do send out the recordings afterwards so you can at least have the content and feel connected. The content is really, really valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So the investment, normally our retreat and course together would be $12.97. If you want just the 8-week course alone, it's $7.97. The retreat alone is $8.97 because we have a lot of extra costs in there. But we are offering a special for the retreat and the course. Instead of $12.97, you can get $500 off. So 500, is that right? For
Yeah, that's right.
$7.97. Oh, we did good. We did good job here. If you just
if you register by April 10th.
Correct. If you register before we start and by April 10th. And remember, the retreat is open to 12 people. So, if you don't get into this one, you'd go to the next one. But hopefully, if you sign up sooner than later, you'll get in. And for both, it's $7.97. If you just want the course, it's $4.97. If you just want the retreat, it's $5.97. So it's quite a really good deal if you get both of them together. And all you have to do is go to igniteyourfeminine.com to access the specials. They will be changing. The price will be changing on April 11th. So get it by April 10th for that. And we'd love to.
I'm sorry. What was the website again?
It's igniteyourfeminine.com.
I got it.
Igniteyourfeminine.com. And it has everything we just covered in there. And then the pricing, if you click on, reserve your spot.
Okay.
And if you have questions between now and when you want to sign up, you can email me at laura@transformtoday.com, or I know you know how to get in touch with Bossy. Either one of us, we're happy to connect with you. You'll get an email follow-up to this with our calendar link. So if you have more questions, you want to book a 15-minute session with us, you can.
Okay.
Any questions other than the date?
No, Vasi, I'm going to just put this out there again because I will do my best to promote this. So if between the two of you have any suggestions as to how I would introduce this to other friends or people I know in a comprehensive way, I'd be glad to do that.
Yeah. So a couple of things are coming. I'm just going to tune in intuitively along with what we have available. I think probably the easiest thing is to share the invitation to our April 1st free preview, which is what you attended today. And that's a great way for people to find out more and to experience being in the energy. So I think that's like the number one thing. So we could share an invitation, or you could, if with people's permission, give us their email addresses and we could send it directly to them. Although I feel like coming from you would be better to forward. And then the other thing is trust your own intuition of who you feel would be aligned with this. And then when you share with it, you can share your experience. I think it's really powerful, and people trust you who you're referring them to.
Yeah. And on that website, there is the invitation to the open house as well at igniteyourfeminine.com on that page. So if you just scroll down a little bit past the first couple of sections, you'll see you're invited to our open house experience. And you could certainly direct people there or copy the link from that. If you don't get any of our emails, it's there.
Okay. Perfect.
And thank you, Joanne, for asking that question and wanting to help us get the word out on this. We appreciate it.
Forward to seeing you in the class.
And I'll just ask both of you ladies to be mindful and send your energy out to me in relationship to how I might best promote this.
Yeah.
and get on board myself. I'll just have to check my own calendar and various things going on with me. So
Sure.
I really would love to do it. Let's just start with that. So
And we
see
would
how I
love
can
to
make it
have you
possible.
there.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. And if there's an issue, we also have, when you go to that website and you click on reserve your spot, there's an option for a 3 payment plan. So if that helps,
Okay.
then that might work well for you.
Okay.
And of course, we're
Yeah.
here for you, and we will send you ways to invite other
Mhm.
people.
Okay, great, good. I love it.
Mhm.
Thank you. Ladies,
thank
thank
you.
you for your generous time. And as always, I love being in this space, and I really appreciate your work, and I'm very grateful for what you're doing.
You're welcome, and thank you for being here with your precious energy. Really love meeting you.
Thank you.
Yes, so
Thank you.
wonderful to
Look
have
forward
you
to seeing you in person.
I
Yeah.
know, it's going to be great.
here.
Yeah,
All right.
great.
Thanks, Joanne, for being here.
Have a lovely evening and the rest of your week. And I am going to see a couple of my girlfriends this weekend, so I'll be sharing this with them as well.
Oh, terrific. All right.
Mhm.
And they're
Okay.
welcome to email us too. So, or you can, and anytime put us in
Yeah,
touch.
I'm going to aim to get them on your April 1 call. Would
Okay.
be the best thing first. Yeah. If not before.
Wonderful. All right. Well, take care, Joanne, and thank you,
Thank
boss.
you.
All right.
Thanks again.
Take
Yeah.
good care. Bye, Joanne.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.